Top Talkers, and I welcome my panel, Trisha Owens from Majic 100, Leanne Cusack as well from CTV Ottawa News at Noon, and the Carson from 93.9, Cub & Co. How are you, man?
Cub short for.
Good, good, good.
Thanks for having us here today.
Well, I'm glad that you've joined us here today. You know, Valentine's Day is coming up very shortly, and it seems that a lot of focus actually ends up on singles. They feel pressure. It's like, oh, I'm not with somebody or whatever.
All the time. It's actually the worst day ever if you're single. Really, let's be honest. Yeah, you're drowning your sorrows in a glass of wine.
Yeah.
That was my life. I don't know.
Yeah, I need a calendar to tell me how to do that.
Yeah. Also, Trisha, so much has changed. Anyway, here we go.
Don't light a match in your heart.
No, here's the deal. What singles want, a survey done, commissioned by Match.com, Dallas-based online dating site, which is increasing. We're seeing numbers increasing with online dating. But interesting to see what men look for in a potential mate versus women. Men, the number one thing they look for is how you're, first it's physical, right? So the first thing they look at are your teeth.
That's what they say.
The
That's what you
first
look for in a horse.
Like as if someone's going to fill out a profile that says, I'm looking for someone that has a face like a half-chewed caramel. Yeah, that's who they're.
Yeah. Women as well, in a higher percentage, looking at your teeth, in case you're wondering. Grammar is number 2 for both sexes. Then it changes. Guys are looking at your hair next. 51% of men look at hair next. Clothes from women. How about that?
Yeah, how about that?
It's all surprising.
So we're pretty shallow at the outset, and that's not a big surprise.
No, there has to be some chemistry there for sure, and that's usually based on physical appearances.
And attraction, right?
Yeah, of course.
Anthropologists say that, biological anthropologists say this is no surprise. Teeth are a very good indicator of your health and your overall hygiene. It's just one of the first things. So, but one of the interesting things to me is not so much the physical stuff, and I'll get your thoughts on this, must-haves. Women are looking for things for men that are must-haves or things that they have to have for men, and they happen to be one of the number one things for men is that women be trustworthy. And is that a big concern for you, Cub?
I think so. You know, especially if you've been in a relationship with someone, you can usually tell in the first couple of weeks of the relationship whether or not those kind of things
Trust them?
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I don't think it's by laying little traps and little things. It's just being that open lines of communication, because for a lot of people that get to that point of their relationships where they find they're incompatible, really when it comes down to is the fact that they're not communicating enough with each other.
Right.
The other day on a television show, one of the main characters said, this television show, one of the main characters said, I trust you. That's bigger than I love you.
Really? Is that right?
Really?
Is that true?
I love when I get a really from you. Like, did you see that? Did you see
No,
that?
I was very surprised by that.
Now, there's a lot of nonverbal communication going on here. Really? Really?
Can you have
No, I'm going to fall off the chair because the weight shifted on me.
Can you have one without the other, though? Can you be in love with someone if you don't trust them? Really?
Good question.
You can be in like with someone if you don't trust them.
I'm just so impressed at how Jeff is synthesizing this data on the fly.
Well,
It's the human computer.
Yeah, from the anthropological point of view.
Wow. It's all made up. What I want to know is also, like, does someone's financial burden, would that be something you would think about?
I thought that was fascinating when whether or not someone had a lot of debt.
More than $5,000 in debt was a major concern.
Loan debt. That was actually a real turnoff, which is really smart.
Everybody's got student loan debt.
That are on
But the experts say that it's really important that you have that conversation, especially before you're going to get married, about, are you a spender, are you a saver, what kind of financial problems are you bringing to the relationship? Because then you take that on as well, right?
Yeah,
so of course it has to be a consideration further on.
If this becomes something serious between the two of you, that's your debt now, so you gotta make that happen, right?
Well,
is it going to affect my credit rating? Because
good prenup.
Right.
You can take care of all that.
Did you look at those details? I have to say, it's really interesting because there's a guy I know who I thought was maybe perhaps really superficial, and now I realize that he falls into the mainstream data. Fabulous gal. She was attractive and smart and good looking, and he did not continue to date her because he said she has really thin enamel.
Thin enamel.
Thin enamel. Needless to say, he's in his 40s and still single.
Yes.
I want to get over that.
So it comes down to this: we're very superficial, but the funny thing is, now you're a newlywed, and I'm not going to get you into any fight here.
Okay.
Oh, yes, he is. You can tell when a guy says
They call them disagreements.
Yeah, exactly.
The
Sorry.
number one fight.
Discussions.
What's the number one discussion at home and that causes strife? What's the number one thing that you two? Is it money or chores or?
It's chores.
Okay.
It's chores.
It's
yeah.
definitely daily chores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I brought along some homework.
Oh, I
Are
like
you
that.
interested?
Wait a second, wait. This is a Pinko commie handbook? What's going on here?
My goodness.
John Gray, the fellow who wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, there was one line that really captured me. This is one of his more recent books. He goes, women want to be loved while men want to be needed. Okay?
Oh, that's interesting.
Now, and both men and women tend to love the way they themselves want to be loved. So if your wife is sort of nurturing and, you know, that's how she wants to be looked after, not how their partner needs to be loved. So that's sort of the tenet of wisdom that's not really from me. It's from
Well,
John
I didn't know we were supposed to bring props on the show for this
Homework is
thing.
important for this.
Reading a book on live television. Is this what we've come to?
Did I put you to sleep or did you like it?
No, really?
The other thing I could say is that men don't want their partner to change, and women start thinking immediately.
Women go, oh,
I
I'll totally
fixed that.
change him.
Yeah.
It's
I
okay.
can
Once we're
Mold him
married,
into something I can eventually live with. Is a big
I love the
motto of my
differences.
house.
The difference is men are looking for things that they want out of women forever, and then the women are like, I just need it to be 60%. I can get the other 40. No
I can
problem.
tweak that. I can tweak that.
I love that.
He's a make work project.
Do you have time for another personal example?
I do not.
No.
And that's all the time we have for
that's all
Talk
we got for
Talkers.
today.
We'll have to catch you next time. Sorry, Leanne.
We
All
need
right,
to
thank
talk.
you,
Those are the
panel.
words they don't like.
So
I
close.
was
So
supposed
close
to
to get it
change
in
his
there.
life with
Knock it
that.